Hey there, I'm Adrienne, your go-to guide on this empowering journey to self-love and authenticity. I've transformed my own struggles into strengths, and now I help others navigate their path to their inner knowing and create personal fulfillment. On this show, we're not shying away from tough conversations. We're diving headfirst into topics like self-worth, overcoming limiting beliefs, challenging societal norms, and creating a life that's not just successful, but truly fulfilling. We're all about blending heartfelt, soul-searching chats with practical, actionable strategies. Think of this podcast as your trusty compass on the path to your most authentic life, mixed with a cozy fireside chat with a dear friend. Ready to uncover your true self and lead a life that's in sync with your deepest desires? You're in the right place, friend. Welcome to the Live Your Truth, Love Your Life podcast. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Live Your Truth, Love Your Life. Today we're talking about the good old coin flip and its applicability to decision making. Probably sounds ridiculous, but stick with me here. We've all been there, standing at the crossroads of a decision, weighing pros and cons, analyzing outcomes, yet we're paralyzed by indecision. In moments of dire perplexity, some people have advocated for the seemingly arbitrary act of flipping a coin. While on the surface, it may seem whimsical or even irresponsible, but the act of flipping a coin can be a profound method of tapping into one's intuition. Again, it probably sounds ridiculous. Why am I talking about this? Well, a little backstory. It stems from a conversation that I had with my cousin Chris a couple months ago. We were talking about where to eat dinner, and both of us were being indecisive. We went back and forth, and we got it narrowed down to two places. He brought up the coin flip and how he uses it to make a decision. I thought, Chris, you're absurd. I mean, he is, and I love him to death. But that was kind of my initial reaction. And he explained his reasoning behind it, and we're going to get into it because although this seems ridiculous, this is a fantastic way to tap into your intuition when nothing else seems to work. So let's not dismiss the coin flip as sheer luck or randomness. There is psychological underpinning to this. So, the very moment the coin is in the air, there's a split second where you might find yourself hoping for one outcome over the other. It might be a fleeting moment, but your true desires or your intuition might reveal itself. This isn't about letting a piece of metal dictate your life, but rather using it as a tool to unlock what might be buried deep within your subconscious. So, traditionally, decision making, it's a logical process, right? It's one where we assess all of the available information, we predict outcomes, we make a choice based on rational considerations. But as we know, our minds are not purely logical. There's an intuitive side. I talk about it often. I've talked about it in previous episodes of this podcast. Our intuitive side is deeply tied to our emotions, experiences, our physiological reactions, and all of that plays a significant role in the choices we make. Intuition, or a gut feeling, is a way of using past experiences, emotional cues, body reactions, essentially reading the room to arrive at a decision without conscious reasoning. It's rapid, it's automatic, and maybe it's not always accurate, but I do think that your intuition and what it's telling you is worth listening to. It's a part of our toolkit, right? It's another way to consider the options and arrive at a decision. So, there's some reasons why the coin flip works to make a decision. 3 reasons that I can come up with that I've thought about led me to, first off, you bypass analysis paralysis. You overthink, you ruminate, and that overthinking, it can be the arch nemesis of decision making. By introducing a random element like a coin flip, you break out of that cycle. You get out of the overanalysis, the analysis paralysis, and it brings some clarity one way or another. On the issue of clarity, the second thing is emotional clarity. As the coin goes up or down, the transient hope or dread we feel for a particular outcome can illuminate what we really want. It cuts through the noise of our logical considerations. Third thing, physiological response. Often, our bodies know what we want before our conscious mind does. I'm a huge advocate for getting into your body and see what it tells you. A racing heart or a sigh of relief at the result of a coin toss can be way more telling than a long list of pros and cons. So you're thinking, all right, that sounds reasonable. Maybe I want to try this. How do I use the coin flip? I know that probably sounds ridiculous, right? But again, stick with me. The first step is define your dilemma. Clearly state the two choices you're deciding between. The clearer and the more specific, the better. The second thing, assign each an option. By that, I just mean heads is one option, tails is the other option. Third thing, flip the coin. And when you do it, observe. Observe what's going on with your emotions and what's going on in your body during that flip. What are you secretly hoping for? The last thing is reflect on your feelings. Regardless of the outcome, take a minute to reflect. Were you relieved? Were you disappointed? Were you indifferent? Your reaction to the result is a window into your intuition. You don't have to follow the outcome of the flip. That's not the point of it. We're not trying to use the random act of flipping the coin to make the decision. We're trying to use the coin flip to tap into the intuition. And our intuition usually knows what's the best decision for us. So look at those insights. Look how you felt. I've done this a couple times since that conversation with my cousin. And I remember one particular instance where I got the result and I was like, I'm going to make it the best 2 out of 3. And then I'm like, I don't need to make it the best 2 out of 3. If I want to flip again or 2 more times to solidify the answer, that's because I'm not happy with what I just came up with. So just think about it in that way. The coin is not the decision maker. You are. The coin serves as a mirror. It reflects back your hidden desires and your inclinations. It's a prompt urging you to confront what you truly feel and what you actually want away from the overanalysis, the over-rationalization, that ruminating in your mind. Blows right past that. All this to say, in a world that often demands black and white clarity or super swift decisions, it's okay to seek unconventional methods when you feel stuck. The coin flip, as simple as it may sound, can be a potent exercise in self-awareness and introspection. The next time you find yourself sitting in indecision, remember that you can grab that penny, throw it up in the air, and gauge your reaction as it's happening. Gauge your reaction once you see what the result is. Give it a toss and let your inner voice emerge. So that's it for this Thursday. I just wanted to share this with you. It's something that's come up for me recently and in conversation with my cousin, and something that I've tried out, and it really works. So I invite you to give it a whirl if you're feeling stuck. And again, the coin is not the decision maker. You are. Flip it and see what comes up for you. That's it for today's episode, my friends. Thanks so much for joining me on the Live Your Truth, Love Your Life podcast. To get even more out of today's conversation, don't forget to swing by the show notes and download your freebie. Want to keep the conversation going? I'd love to hear what spoke to you most today. Head on over to my Instagram at Live Your Truth, Love Your Life and drop me a comment. I'm always excited to connect and learn more about you. Remember, the journey towards living your truth and loving your life is a rewarding one. New episodes are dropping each Monday and Thursday, and I can't wait for next time. Until then, have a fantastic week.